I'm Brian Carter. Joining me now on Blitz is Tommy Jones, head coach of the Lumpkin County Indians. Coach, thank you so much. We have you on here every year, and it's always a pleasure having you on Blitz.
It's great to be here, Brian. We really appreciate the opportunity that you give us to be profiled on the Blitz.
We love it, and we love being here at the burial grounds here at Lumpkin County. As you see, a beautiful field they have here at Lumpkin County. Now, Coach, talk about you had a great start to the season, 2-0. You just blew through Riverside. Then you take on Union County in your home opener. And a very interesting game. You win 28-13, and then you have to go face a tough Monroe area team. Last year, I believe it was a 3-0 ball game the first time you played them or something like that. This year is just a tough loss for you. Is this kind of where you expected to be at this point?
It's always hard to say where you expect it to be. We're very excited about our first two wins. We knew that it was important for us to get off to a good start. We felt fortunate to be able to come out of the gate well against both Riverside and Union County. We were blessed to have some big plays along the way in those games, to play very good defense, and to play very good special teams. And when you do those things, you're able to win the different facets of the game. You've got a good chance to win the game as well. The Monroe area game was obviously disappointing. You don't line up and want to lose any game. We did play a very good team. I was proud of our kids for their effort. We thought that they gave tremendous effort, but unfortunately that effort wasn't quite enough, and they were executed better than we did during the course of the game. And that's where we are right now. We've got to find a way to get better before we hit a really tough sub-region schedule.
Yeah, and speaking of Monroe area, they just had a really stingy defense. You guys put together just 2 points on a safety, but they are known for having a stingy defense. Talk about after the 2-0 start, you had your bye week. Was that, in your eyes, kind of well-timed to have the first two games and then have the bye week, or would you rather have it later in the year?
It's hard to say. I mean, it all depends on where you are and if you have injuries. I mean, preferably, and looking back now, obviously you'd like to be able to capitalize on the momentum you have after 2 wins and continue to stay in rhythm and continue to be able to play games on a weekly basis instead of slow down. But at the same time, I don't think I'm going to attribute our loss to Monroe area on a bad bye week. I think we just failed to execute like we're capable of executing. And like I said, we're going to have to get back to the drawing board and work hard this week to get ready for a very good Johnson team and then the sub-region coming after that.
What did you focus on most with your team in that bye week and preparing for the game against Monroe area?
Sure. We always try to use our bye week to really be able to get back to the basics. Football is a simple game that as coaches sometimes we make a little bit more complex, but it comes down to blocking and tackling. And so during our bye weeks, we always try to spend a lot of time blocking and tackling and working on fundamentals and trying to improve in that nature, and as well as getting some guys healed up. We're hoping to be able to use that as a chance to heal up BBJ Dorsey, our defensive end, but unfortunately, his injury proved to be much worse than simply a week or two bye week could handle.
Yeah, that's actually where I was going next. Is the unfortunate loss of BJ Dorsey early in the game against Union County, and that's a major hit because I had heard the hype around him being a potential Division I player and still could be, sure. Because people know the kind of player he's capable of being. But talk about the hit that took on your team, and from your standpoint, how you're able to kind of get your guys to rally up and continue to move on even without him.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know if you ever replace a guy like a BJ Dorsey. I mean, he was really the heart and soul of our defense. An extremely hard worker, does little things well, plays unbelievably hard. I mean, he's the kind of guy that never dogs it in the game and always gives great effort. So losing him, I don't know if you ever replace him. However, I've never been a part of a football team that had success that didn't have to overcome adversity along the way, and that's what we've preached to our kids ever since that injury, was that we were going to have some guys to step up and to play roles that they didn't expect to play at the beginning of the year, that you never know when your time is going to come, and some of these guys are going to have an opportunity to do that now. And we've got a group of linemen that are going to have to take turns and play defense. Guys like Daniel Horvat and Caleb Stepp and Tyler Flatt, a number of guys are going to have to kind of come in and be able to fill that void that BJ left open. So it's going to be a challenge, but I think the adversity hopefully will make us stronger, and it will reveal a character that we have in ourselves that'll make us better down the road because of it.
Now, you talk about filling voids, and last year you had to part due to graduation with a lot of your key players, including Taylor Guthrie, who had led this offense for a number of years here at Lumpkin County. And a lot of people were kind of wondering, who was going to be the one to step up and fill that hole, and we saw a lot of that last year with Ian McIntosh, and this year he's been. Would you kind of say the focal point of the offense, and just talk about his playmaking abilities and leadership that he brings to the team?
Yeah, Ian has the ability to create plays in space. He is a very fast young man. And when he has the ball in the open field, he's got the speed where he can take it all the way and score with it. And we're very fortunate, very blessed that he's on our football team. Yes, I definitely think that he has filled that void of being a focal point of the offense. At the same time, we know for us to be successful down the road, we have to have some other guys step up as well, and we need to be able to run our offense in a rhythm that doesn't just depend on big plays to score for us. We need to be able to control the clock and do some of the little things that it takes to have a really good and successful offense.
Now, Coach, as always, it just seems so unfortunate the way the schedules it kind of falls to Lumpkin County. But you have a backloaded schedule where it seems like your tougher games are always to close out the season, and that is what you attribute to wanting to have such a good start, because when it gets into those sub-region games that it's going to be tough. You've got North Hall, Stevens County, and Chestatee, who is 3-0 right now and looking really dangerous. That's before your region playing game. So just talk about. What do you hope to accomplish, I guess, before those games? And just talk about, in general, having that backloaded schedule.
Yeah, well, those three teams are excellent. And then, but before that, I think we have to play a very good Johnson team this week, a White County team last year that went 2 rounds in the playoffs that has tons of confidence that we haven't beaten in a while around here. And also a very good Franklin County team. So I think every one of the games that we have remaining are going to be extremely tough, and games that we have to get geared up and ready to play. Our focus has got to be, on ourselves. We want to prepare for opponents, but we want to focus on ourselves and make sure we're doing the things that we need to do to be successful. One of the things that we try to talk about a lot around here is the next game. But the next game is the biggest game because it's the next game, and it gives us an opportunity to show where we are. Another thing that we try to talk about a lot is just the health of our program. Are we doing the little things the right way? Are we practicing well? Are we working in the weight room well? The things that we can control, are we doing those things that we need to do? And that's the focus. If the health of your program is good, and if your practice habits are the way that they ought to be, you're doing the little things the way that you need to, and hopefully the big picture takes care of itself down the road.
We definitely look forward to that, and I'm cheering for you all the way this year, Coach. Always appreciate having you on the show. Really appreciate it, and thanks for being on the show.
Well, thanks so much, Brian. My pleasure.
No problem. Now, don't go anywhere. We're going to bring Ian McIntosh on the show next. He's the star running back here for the Lumpkin County Indians. Next on Blitz.